I've realized that ultimately, especially right now in America, that we have a lot of fear mongering. It's not, and it's like the easiest way to control people, and it's very common for people to be full of fear. I believe in reincarnation, the spirits in the cosmos, fifth dimension, whatever the fuck you say. Ultimately, we have our soul in the cosmos, and then for our iterations, we come take a body here, and we experience that. Ultimately, you have your flesh and bone, and you experience all of these type of things. So you get your human instinct and all of that. With being an animal, humans are animals, that we have our bodily instincts and all of that. We have expectations, we have requirements for surviving, and you have all of this survival instincts and all of that. And so it's because of the having the body, it means that you have to survive, or it's part of the having the body in the first place. So we have things that are there innate for each time you exist in each skin that you have. So we, as humans, as animals, you have to learn for having, it's for being afraid about things, so that you know about having the option to survive and doing your best with that. It's the automatic sensation you have as a human being or an animal, that you ultimately, the first thing you have to do is you have to live, and you will have to immediately be afraid of things. So you can make sure the survival of the fittest, or the survival of those who have listened to their instincts the best. You don't have to always hold, and that's why it's the most common thing that we have for, as humans in general, that ultimately we have a lot of fear because of our human instinct. As long with our human instinct, you always need to feel the need to spawn, because that's part of your having a physical body. And ultimately, it's very easy to control because it comes with all of us. You start with the fear as an animal, and the enlightenment comes over time once you figure out how to trust your instincts and figure out how to let go of fear, or limit the amount of your fear and your paranoia and all of that. So when you want to control the masses, you would have to use them to be afraid of a lot of things, because it's their automatic. All humans start with sensation of extra fear, that you want to survive, and it's innate for us to be always full of fear, because you have the need, having a body, to survive. So that's why you have all of these politicians, groups of whatever it is that try and control a mass with a certain amount of people. It's way easier to have fear than you would for this and that. And because we start with that. If you wanted to have people who were better than their fear stuff, your base sensations, you're going to have a fewer amount of people in the first place. So that's why you have people who are into MAGA, they're still in their cult, people who have a lot of fear and all of that, because they're still in their survival stuff. They're not ready to enlighten any part of themselves and experience further than that. They're into their human, animal instincts without looking further from that. And that's why they don't have sensation they don't have the trust of risks, and they rely on more paranoia, and they don't spend any time to enlighten themselves for all of this type of stuff, because they're not used to being other than an animal. It takes a lot to process all of your animal sensations and instincts. And so it takes a lot of fucking time, and that's why you have way more or less. So the audience that I would want to be doing is because right now I am trying to let go of all of my own fears and survival mode, which is your automatic, that you start moving from all of that, and then you start to figure out like, oh, what is the enlightenment into yourself? What do you want? What are the risks you want to experience? And how can you let go of the paranoia for things? And especially when you're fed that from a lot of things, from your government, from whatever it is, there's always going to be stuff that will say, be afraid and all of that. It's hard for you to have to not only ignore your own instincts, or you have to figure out from the instincts, because it's good to have gut feelings. It just means you have to discern for what is a real fear, or what's something that has been created from your brain still not knowing how to give you better options than what it is now. It's just trying to get you breathing and having blood. And you have to figure out to get bigger of a brain and expand more than what you're used to. So the audience that I would want is for those who trust their own enlightenment for things like that, because that's what I'm doing right now, to trust that I don't need this, I don't need that. It doesn't serve me, especially now that I'm in capitalism. It doesn't serve me to have all of these beliefs and these type of instincts. Your gut feeling should be from things that happen, not things that could happen. So if you're thinking in the future and all of that, if you're fearing for things, it's mostly for control, especially since we're extremely civilization where we're everywhere with everyone. So you can't even do, like, you're not afraid of bears usually, you're not afraid of any of that. Your gut would work for that. It would not work for, oh, you need a lot of money. Oh, you need to have a car. Oh, you need gas. Oh, you need bills. That's a whole other thing that they created for you, because it's the easiest to control you as a people.